Luke, great win.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive win for us, especially in that second half. Boys dug in, coming to our 22, got a lot, but we turned the ball over, got back into their half. Proud of every single one of the boys on that shift tonight.
They only, didn't score after the second, third minutes. How you held them out, and just what does that show about the character of the side?
Exactly. We got a lot of young boys, especially tonight. We had a couple of injuries, so I think a lot of boys were out there to prove a point, and I think they have. Probably made selection with Toby a little bit harder.
No, I wish it was always hard on that. That's fine.
But yeah, like I say, the boys put in a hell of a shift there. I'm proud of every single one of them.
The atmosphere, different home game from normal. What
yeah, it was. Like I say, it's a home away game kind of thing. But let's play it next week if we get a win like that. No, it was great. We had some London fans up here. Even a couple of Sharks fans, stuff like that. It was a great crowd tonight and boosted us.
What will that do for you for the season today?
Look, we had beat Zebra last week. Obviously Sharks tonight, going into Glasgow next week, let's go on a bit of a roll now, and obviously we've got Glasgow home as well, so let's take them on.
Toby, what
I don't need that sort of comment in the press, so that's a little bit. I'm joking, no, I love it.
Toby, where does that rank in your sort of wins that you've had here?
The thing that springs, the parallel that springs to mind is the Mighty Ducks performance in Leinster away. I know where we had a similar sort of team that people gave us no, but they were into everything, and what Moggsy's talking about there. I thought we were into everything. We were a pain and irritant to everybody, and that's a team that wants to fight, and that's the reflection on the culture, the team spirit. We've talked about energy and effort all week. We haven't talked about play from line outs. We've talked about what price you have to pay to be good, and I'm so proud and pleased for the boys that they've managed to get the result they've had and the type of performance they've had, because this young man here is at the end of the 20s, whereas these boys that are coming into their 20s in some cases and beyond, there's a hell of a lot of learning about what the price you have to pay is, and the consistency of effort, and winning tight contests is a thing that you learn, and the more you're in them and the more you do it, the better player you become.
There's a lot of guys there who are, as you say, early 20s, hadn't really a few first starts, a few first appearances, and you wouldn't have thought that.
No, they were more excited about going to Legoland on the way home. No, I'm joking. They are, we make no secret about growing our own players and continuing the lifeblood of the club, there was a lot of media attention, for example, around Justin Tipuric and international windows and bits and pieces. And I know that Tips would have watched that and been so proud of the boys, because that was a Justin Tipuric type performance that you saw there in his absence. So I think that speaks volumes for the group.
It's hard to put out individuals, I suppose, with Morgan Morris taking over the captaincy, and also Harry Deeves. You talk about being a pain.
Well, there was one set for Harry Deeves where he made like 7 tackles in one set.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're talking about. And Morgan, we run out of plaudits for Morgan Morris, because in our gym it says player of the year, player of the year, player of the year, and very few people doing that, especially the history of the club. So Morgan Morris having the captaincy is a person who's going to lead by example. He did that. He did it last week, and I think that he's an older statesman in certainly performance, but not in years. So people like him, Jack Morgan, Rhys Davis, Dowie Lake, people like that, they are the future. They're now the mainstay of what we are, and we're shaping teams, under the guidance of people like Moggsy here on effort and intensity, because that's the team of the future.
Success for the Ospreys on and off the field tonight? Enjoy it?
I think so. Yeah, I think that the people, and obviously the URC, Y11, our own some bits and pieces, to have the ambition, the foresight to go, let's do something different. Obviously easy when you win, but I think, for example, if the fixture had been a little bit kinder, we could have managed to get this on a Saturday, I think we'd have had double the people there, because we were always well supported, and a lot of passionate people here, like where we saw at Saracens in Europe last year. So I think that people that try things at different, it doesn't always work out for you, but if you don't roll the dice, you're never going to win.
Final one for me. You signed Lou said today, James Kelly from Exeter. I think there were 2 tight heads on the bench today here in terms of Rhys Henry and Ben Warren. What does that leave you in terms of Lou said's? You've obviously got Nicky Smith coming back and Gavin for the day. How's Gareth Thomas?
Yeah, he's not returned to training as of yet, and obviously he's not around with Wales, so he's not too far away. He looks pretty. I think he's pretty comfortable going forward. As you said, Reece Henry it'd be remiss of me not to say that he can play both sides, because he's shown that he can, and people that can play in multiple positions when you've got smaller squads are gold dust. So for him to do that is fantastic. They looked very good last week. Ben Warren I thought was excellent when he went on. You know, as I said, we need as much strength and depth. We know that we've not trained, or we've had to go on the road, as you guys know, that and try and find competitive training, because we've not been able to train 15 on 15 with people in the right position. So those are the challenges. We'll continue those challenges. Those challenges are not solely due to us. It's also similar for other Welsh regions. It's a problem, but we will do the very best to solve that problem the best we can.
Any other people back next week? Apart from the
yeah, the international boys are back. I think Gar will be training as well. I don't think. Oh yeah, the HIA boys, so Matt Provo, for example, will be okay. We'll see where Owen is. That was more precautionary than anything else. Yeah, so we obviously, with his history, we need to be careful on that.
Toby, what were the thoughts at half time? Because 3 tries scored. Did you want half time at that when it came? Because it seemed you had a lot of momentum.
Yeah, we did. I think we'll, and rightly so, focus on the improvements we made on defensive attitude tonight. And Luke's talked about the winning the scraps and what you have to do. But it comes at a huge physical price, and at some point I thought, you know, it's hurting us, but is it killing them? So, you know, but we talk about that, and yeah, momentum is critical, and also, as well as stopping them, we had a lot of chances, and there's a few players, and you know, we mentioned, well, yeah, we've done really well defensively, but we probably let a bonus point slip. Now, if you've got a group that's talking like that, it's probably indicative of an ambitious group that wants to get better and has setting its own levels of performance. So from that point of view, that's really encouraging. Yeah, of course, who knows, but they could have scored 2. We had opportunities, we didn't take them, but on that performance we'll take those 4 points with pride.
You're kind of reading my mind. My next question, was there a bonus point out there tonight?
Yeah, I think there was, you know, especially that last 5 minutes. Our mindset was, come on, let's go get that bonus point win. Like I say, we come off the pitch and maybe there's a little bit of disappointment thinking, Christ, you know, we left the point out there. But you know, we'll take that 4 point win tonight and lead us on to next week.
I've coupled with last week's win a bit of momentum. You know, again, that's a word that's commonly used.
Yeah, I think, you know, nothing beats winning. You know, for morale, enthusiasm, humour, you know, bus trip home, Legoland, the whole thing, nothing beats it. So from our point of view, you know, he's already sat there too long, he wants a beer in the change room, quite rightly so. So look, I think that it's a big tick for us, you know, especially if you look what's missing and where we go and what Welsh rugby's been through and what we've had to go through. So the more credit and fuel and energy we can put into the emotional side of the game, the better. And if that's normally manifests itself in momentum and winning.
And the youngsters can take a lot from this, can't they? The whole experience, playing away, or, you know, home from away from home.
You know, we've had a few bumps and bruises. You know, James Fender, for example, you know, he's played, you know, minimal stuff for us. He's had to become the line-out caller, and yeah, the things didn't go always to plan that line-out, but that's not necessarily a calling option. But his experience that he's going from being in that pressure cooker, in that environment, you cannot mimic that. You have to go through it. You have to go through it. And, you know, people like him, Morgan Morse, you know, that have been put in those positions for the first time.